Salut și bine v-am găsit. Sper că sunteți cât mai mulți. Noi am încercat să promovăm cât mai bine evenimentul și îmi face mare plăcere să fiu alături de voi astăzi. Din păcate, fiecare din casele lui încă lucrăm remote și cu toate acestea, astăzi am câteva vești foarte bune pentru proiectul Lanceria și per total pentru evoluția companiei noastre și a proiectului nostru și aștept cu mare interes întrebările voastre. Dar înainte să iau întrebările, aș dori să sparg gheața cu câteva vești foarte bune pe care le avem și pe care vrem să le comunicăm către comunitate. But first, this was just an introduction. I will switch to English. So even though we really love our Romanian community, this AMA is going to be hosted in English because we wanna acknowledge the fact that our international community grew a lot. And this is why we want to address you in English. So without further ado, I will wait a few more minutes. In the meantime, hi to everybody and hi on behalf of the team from Lanceria. I will just wait for a few more minutes before I break the big news, and hopefully after that we will see a lot of engagement in how you guys are. Shoot all your questions at me. It will be my pleasure to answer all of your questions, and hopefully by the end of this AMA, all of your questions will be answered and everything is going to be crystal clear. Yeah, so hello guys, a lot of people from Romania I see, but also foreign people, and I'm really pleased to see the fact that we do have an international following as well. So one of the first question, if we're not discussing in Romanian at this AMA, and I will just make a brief, brackets in Romanian. Nu o să vorbim în română la acest AMA, pentru că ne adresăm unei comunități internaționale și sperăm să nu fie o problemă, dar cu mare drag voi răspunde la toate întrebările, atât în engleză în cadrul acestui AMA, cât și în scris. Vom răspunde comunității la toate întrebările care sunt adresate în cadrul acestui AMA. Cu asta o să închid paranteza în limba română and I will switch back to English. So we will not be speaking in Romanian at this AMA because we're an international project after all. Okay, so I will break the ice with the good news. Yeah, we'll begin. No, actually, we do have some really great news. So let me just share my screen and I will show you, I think, one of the most important things that we want to communicate to the community is the fact that we have a lot of progress on our product, and we can show you what has been developed up until now. We can tell you when do we have an expected release date for our platform, and I can show you which are the most innovative aspects of our product. So let me just share the screen. We do have here a screen recording of how the product looks. So this is an actual screencast of the actual product itself, which is being developed. So as you can see, we have all the elements with the secure login component. We do have all the security aspects in verifying if the password and everything, all the security was okay. We have the elements of fulfilling the profiles. So all of this is not a mock-up. This is actually a working product that is being deployed on the test version of our development, let's say, environment. And thank you for my colleagues for making this short introductory video. So this is going to be the dashboard. We're going to have here the possibility to add all your personal details, all your links, all your social media. You're going to be able to fully personalize the experience that you create on your platform, on your portfolio, and let's say on your page. And I will come up after this period, after this presentation. So we have here a small delay. Okay, so we do have the verification, the KYC, which is very relevant because we're a crypto project and we wanted to have everything as secure as possible. So I will just skip through this part. Now is the interesting part. This is how we create a new portfolio. So I will come back again to why this is very relevant, because we do have some very innovative aspects in how we design the platform. So unlike most of our competitors, we're not going to have the same standard user experience that somebody that is looking for a freelancer is going to have on our platform. So basically, our platform is going to be something like a social media of uh, freelancers. So it's going to look more akin to like a social feed. So we're going to have a social feed of portfolios where people will be able to show off their creations, to show off their experience, and they will gain, let's say, social credit. They will gain comments, likes, and it's going to be a much more social experience in listing your work experience, so that clients may be able to find, search for you, and vice versa. So I will skip here briefly through this process because it's not very relevant. This is how you declare and introduce your portfolios, all kinds, different projects. This is the aspect where you can declare, and this is very relevant. Briefly paused here. You're gonna have different types of pricing. It's going to be everything either. So basically, all the let's say the transfer are going to be made in Lang, obviously, which is going to be a very big boost for the value of our token. But something which is very relevant is the fact that we do not we use all kinds of cryptocurrencies to um, to let's say have a rate transfer with the Lang. Okay. um, let's see what else. So this is the delivery time. You can set the delivery time however you want it to be. And this is going to be let's say how your portfolio is going to look like. And pretty much that was it in terms of the demo. What I think is most relevant here is the fact that we're advancing with the project. We're having a lot of project. So the share screen did not work. Oh, Jesus Christ. And I was talking here. Let me see what's not working here, and maybe I can, the share screen doesn't work. Okay, great. I will send you the document. So I will share the screen recording. So it's a screen recording. And I will be able to share it right here. So just to make up for the fact that I don't know for which reason the Restream platform did not work with share screen, you can go on that link on the drive, and you can see which are exactly the parts of the platform that we already have developed. So the great news is that we have a lot of progress with our platform, and we do have some innovative features that we have developed and we're really proud of, and the work continues. And this was one of the great news that I wanted to share with you guys, the fact that we kept on working, and there has been a steady work on our tech side to develop all these flows and to make a really great product. So yeah, I'm going to also star this. I pinned this drive link where you can see the screen recording. So once again, apologize. I have no idea why the screen recording did not work, but you do have the link here, and you can watch and you can see in detail how the platform is going to work. So this was the first great news. The second great news that I wanted to share with you guys, and this is something which is very relevant, is regarding, let's say, the way we pivoted some of our initial perspective on how we want this product to work. Okay, so something that I really wanted to share with you guys was the fact that we do have some major project in pivoting our product towards something more, let's say, in line with the Web3 vision. So what do I mean when I say Web3 vision? So we started from this vision of having uh, this decentralized platform of people being able to work as freelancers in a decentralized manner with as few fees as possible, and finding clients and clients finding them. So this was, let's say, the initial vision. And after that, we managed to, let's say, add a few more layers, which I'm pretty sure that you already have been aware. And one of them is, one second, please, is the metaverse component. So the metaverse component is not something which is only being done just to be in line with trends. It makes a lot of sense. So why we added this metaverse component to Lanceria, and why this is very relevant to our future development. We were thinking about how we might be able to create a better experience of freelancer getting in touch with clients and having the initial discussion, until the point where they set the pricing and they start working. So this is why we created all these environments. This is not just one. There are multiple virtual environments where initially you can be able to interact through your screen in an immersive 3D experience. But what we want to work towards is having a fully virtual immersion in our metaverse, let's say, interfaces, where clients will be able to meet with freelancers and freelancers to meet with clients. They will be able to exchange more freely, to convene emotions, to convene different, let's say, aspects that they want to discuss, which are a lot harder to do in just having something like a call or having a chat or something like that. And this was the metaverse component. And beyond the metaverse component, we want to integrate ways to customize your environment. So in order to do that, we're also going to launch an NFT marketplace, which is going to be specifically targeted towards our freelancers. So we're going to have an internal marketplace of NFTs, is going to be an internal market for our freelancers, and in which you will be able to buy NFTs, which are going to be helpful in customizing, creating a customer experience for your metaverse, for your own, let's say, virtual work environment where you meet clients, where brands meet different kind of freelancer, and so on and so forth. So now we do have a new, let's say, more rounded up concept, which is a metaverse for freelancers. So this is, let's say, the biggest development in terms of product that we did. We're repositioning Lanceria as a metaverse for freelancers, more than just one platform for freelancers. And once again, as you can see in that screen recording, you can see that we have developed a lot of. You can browse it up, and we will also send it to in the community. You can see here in the chat, we do have this Google Drive where we do have the screencast of everything that has been, actually not everything, because we developed more than that, but this is the part that is stable and is working, and we can show it to you guys. So we do have some of the major flows already developed on the platform. We continue working on the platform, and these are the two main aspects that we wanted to discuss with you guys and to show you that we continue working. So now I will start taking once again questions. So let's see which are the questions here. So you now, sorry again for the problem that the share screen did not work. I have no idea. Okay, so one of the recurring questions was about the platform launch. As you already seen, we do have some major progress on the technical development. We expect for the platform launch. I cannot officially announce the exact date at the moment, but I can tell you it's going to be towards the end of the second quarter, which means the end of June. The end of June, or just to be sure to have like a to have some bonus time in order if anything goes delayed is going to be July at the latest. Okay, one other question that we had is why the parity Bitcoin with Lanceria was took out of DigiFinex. This was a decision mainly due to volumes. So we do have other pairings which have a lot more volume, but in this case, unfortunately, there was just not enough volume to make sense for either DigiFinex or for our project. So this was the reason why the pairing was took out of DigiFinex. How do we differentiate ourselves from other crypto freelancing websites? And there was direct, let's say, reference to one of our competitors. And I'm just going to post it again here, just to make sure that everybody gets to see the screencast. So there are a few things that really differentiate us from other projects. First and foremost, we do have this component of integrating virtual environments and virtual reality in our experience, and this is going to become what we work towards, this metaverse of freelancers and brands, where brands can position themselves as HR departments, people hiring freelancers, and freelancers they can have customized experiences, galleries, showcases of their work, and a much richer, let's say, environment in which they can discuss with their clients. This is the first one. The second one is the fact that we are opening up a marketplace, an internal marketplace of NFTs for our community, which means that beyond the work that they're doing, they're contracting on Lanceria, on the platform itself, our users, they will be able to gain additional revenues from creating assets for other artists, for other freelancers, or for brands, or for many other potential customers. And last but not least, actually the most important one in a chronological order is the fact that we do have a different kind of experience when you enter the platform. So if you're looking at competitors nowadays, they do have let's say the same standard approach that everybody, even the leaders in the market, such as, I don't know, Upwork, Fiverr, Freelancer.com, they have. So you do have this standard listing with people scrolling through what they want to look at, and basically listing people on some filters. This is a basic experience. We want to create a much more social engagement experience than that. So when I say social engagement experience, is that uh, let's say the homepage, the landing page of the platform is going to be something much more akin, very similar to a social network. So it's going to be a social experience, a social feed, where freelancers can much richly interact with their clients and vice versa. So one of the main differentiators. Let me come back now to other questions. Okay, so a very good and very pertinent question. When do we think that our roadmap is going to be finished? Thank you, Livio, for this question. So, as you already noticed, and there is no way of sugarcoating it, we had some delays. But these delays are given in a context of repivoting our project. So they were not just delays for the sake of delays, they were delays in the context of adding new things. And in order to add new things to the project and make it have sense to create a coherent image, to create something that has a coherent business purpose and sense and meaning, you need to rethink a lot of things. And when you rethink a lot of things, obviously it takes longer than you expected. So, like I previously said, we expect to have a public version of our platform in June or July at the latest. And the rest of the roadmap regarding the developments for the metaverse and for the NFTs and all the other things that we're really excited about, they're going to be published soon on our website. We're still, let's say, looking at the best way of delivering them in the shortest time possible, but at the same time keeping the quality of our work. Because, and this is something that I truly believe in. I know maybe some people might be upset for me saying this, but I would rather be late than not be perfect. And we want to deliver an experience which is truly good, it truly adds value to our users, and which truly adds value to our investors in the token. So, which criteria must a member meet who wants to register on the platform? There is no such thing. Obviously, beyond the KYC, which is mandatory from legal perspectives, anyone can become a freelancer on the platform. Anyone can offer his own or her services on the platform and make a fair earning out of it. Actually, not just a fair earning, on average, freelancers are going to earn more than on competing platforms because due to our decentralized nature, we are going to have less fees than the competitions, obviously, which is something very good for the freelancers. But we also hope it will attract a lot of clients. In the let's say in the chronological order, first we're going to attract freelancers due to our value proposition, but then having freelancers on the platform is going to be a lot of clients coming in. So let's say this is the strategic approach that we wanna take. By the way, something which I wanted to address, to personal address, and something which was worrying, be very careful. Unfortunately, on social media, there are a lot of people impersonating Lanceria, a lot of people trying to impersonate our staff or our projects. So just be careful for scams. This is not something which is unique to our project. Unfortunately, the entire industry, the entire blockchain and crypto industry is full with scammers and people trying to impersonate team members. Just a shout out, be careful, don't click on random links, take care of your wallets, take care of your private keys, and just usually stay safe and try to follow the official accounts and not something which looks shady. Lucian asked me if there was something wrong with the previous roadmaps. So why should you expect that the new roadmap will be respected if the previous ones were not? Well, I have two questions for you. I mean, actually, the first one is not going to be a question; it's going to be an acknowledgement. Well, you do have a point, but we do also have some strong arguments why we had to create a new roadmap. So we got a lot of feedback from the market, a lot of feedback from our users that we should be taking, let's say, we should be looking at some needs of our users that we reflected in the features which are now being constructed into the metaverse and into the NFT collections and the other features that we developed. So basically, we had to take a step back. We had to look at what people told us that they want. We had to build these products and not just conceptually building them and from a business perspective building them, but to actually development building them. And as you know, software development is something which you cannot do in a hurry. It's something that requires a lot of testing, a lot of Q&A, a lot of feedback. So this is why we had the delays that we had. But once again, as you can see on the screencast that I shared with you, we do have major progress in developing our product. Let's say the core product, which is the platform itself, and also we do have some features implemented from the upcoming releases of the virtual environments that we're building with the metaverse and the other aspects. So I just wanted to clear out. Also, I seen here in the chat some rumors, and a user Egra Surd said that we'd like to know how many people are seeing the project because people start to tell that the team disbanded. So let us know. Obviously, this is not true. We do had some people. It's normal mobility. People come in, people go out, and we do have some slots. Let's say some missing areas in our team, such as we wanna expand and develop our marketing outreach team and the people in the communication space. But beyond that, the core team is hard at work, and we made the progress that we already showed you, and we continue to work on the project just as before. How long does it take for the portfolio to be validated? Um, I mean, it depends what you mean, because in the flow you're just declaring your own portfolio. It doesn't need any kind of validation. Uh, Obviously, you can talk about how do you get traction in the sense that you're getting people to like your portfolio, to appreciate your work, to push you further up in this feed structure that we have. And this might take some time because this is something which it happens with traction for every freelancer on any platform. So it does take some time for you to gain traction. But beyond that, there is no waiting time to have your portfolio pre-approved or something like that. So one question is if there is going to be a minimum or maximum price that you can set for a service. And as far as I know, there is no such thing as a minimum price or a maximum price. But obviously, it's going to be something realistic in the sense that if it's not realistic, you're not going to have clients. And you're going to be able to say to quantify it either in lang, or let's say in a fixed lang value or in a fixed fiat value. And so obviously you cannot have things like 0.1801 because that would be less than which is technically possible for the crypto. But besides that, you can set any price value for your products as you want. So a question about will the platform be ready in Q2 and will the marketing start as well? So I answered these questions previously in this AMA, but I will answer it again. Our, let's say, estimation, our rough estimate for, because we kept adding features and we kept adding, let's say, new development on the backlog of our team. And the latest estimate is the fact that we were going to have a working version of the platform in Q2. But most likely it's going to be a closed one for testing. So most likely a public release for the platform is going to be at the beginning of Q3 in July. So will you have a good question from Lucian? Will we have a real-time conversions from blank rates to USD? Well, I can take that question to mean two things. If you'll be able to buy Lang directly with Fiat from the site, the answer is yes. We're going to have a ramp on Fiat to crypto, which is going to allow people to pay for the services that they buy on the platform directly with their card, which is going to be shape-shifted via this ramp on platform into Lang, which is going to be transferred to the freelancer, and he will be able to convert it back to USD or keep it in Lang, whatever he wants. The second, let's say, interpretation of your question is the fact that through an API you will be able to see in real time if you will be able to see in real time how much your land is worth. And when setting the price for your services, you will be able to see it either in lang or in a major fiat currency or in USDT. If you have fees on our transactions of platform, how much will that be? Great questions from Andrei. So like we promised, we're not charging any fees from the freelancers. There will be, say, let's say, some technical fees if you want to use, for example, fiat to crypto, but this is not taken by us. It's taken by the payment integrator for the car from the card integrator. So everything that is in our, let's say, control is not going to be any fee for the freelancer. There will be a fee for the clients paying the freelancers, but that is also going to be less than the industry standard rate. So if you signed with any big partner, well, there is something, but unfortunately, I cannot publicly announce it yet. But we are in discussion with a major partner, and is going to be a follow-up announcement coming up soon. Stay tuned. This is everything that I can say, unfortunately, at this moment, because non-disclaimer agreements until everything is set up. But we do have some major partners in the works, and we will announce them soon enough. Okay, so I see that the recurring questions is about staking. Staking can be done in two ways. Staking can be done on site, and or staking can be done on a third party. All I can tell you now, I mean, I cannot say definite date, but I can tell you that we had active discussions on seeing which of the alternative is going to be, and is going to be one of the two. I cannot tell you for the moment which one is going to be and when it's going to be, but we're keeping our promise in implementing staking. And unfortunately, for now, this is everything that I can say for now. We're gonna come up with a follow up on this topic. To be honest, many of the things that you're asking me now, and this is something which I'm very glad, have been topics of discussion within our business and product team. So we are either already working on them or we have seriously considered them. So what I will do is the things that we were most interested in, the most, let's say, relevant questions that you gave me in this Ask Me Anything session. We're gonna go back in our team and we're going to come back with a detailed answer in the communities on Telegram and on other social media. So what I can tell you is that for all the questions that I have not yet answered, because I try to answer as many of them as possible, but for all the others, we're going to have a detailed response in writing on our Telegram channels. So just I hope that everybody have seen the pinned message that I put here in chat, which is the screencast, the screen recording with our progress in development that we have made. And I hope everybody has been, in touch with the things that we're trying to communicate with the other developments. But if you have any other questions, please keep firing them in the chat. Very interesting questions from Lucian. How we will separate the new roadmap from the previous ones, and which are your measures to prevent past situation of non-compliance with the deadlines? So, like I said, and I want to reiterate this, we have been redesigning the product. So we started from here, and we're now here in terms of complexity and features and the user needs that we meet and fulfill. So this is why we had some delays. I can tell you for sure that we're going to be much careful in announcing new releases, because I think sometimes it's better to just show people that what you have done, like I did today, and I show you the progress, instead of saying, "Hey, we're gonna have this ready," and then you have a delay. So our approach from a communication and managerial management perspective from now on, we're going to try to do things first, and after that communicate them. So this is why we're not going to communicate as many things in advance, but the good news is that you're going to just see them being done, being implemented, and this is much more stable. This much more stable approach. I'm not avoiding a question, so I'm being asked here if we're gonna have a listing on Meyer Dex. Um, you can answer this question and overall the Elrond ecosystem. You can have many ways of being integrated in the Elrond ecosystem. For once, they have this, let's say, the launchpad itself, which is very exclusivistic, very elitistic, and it usually addresses to projects which are at the beginning of the road and they're just being launched, and it targets, let's say, tokens which are natively deployed on their network. So as we are deployed on Binance Smart Chain, this is not a match for us. What we can do is to have the bridge for Elrond, and having a bridging on Elrond will allow us to have the token on Elrond network as well. But usually bridges are being done by the infrastructure. So this is not a standard approach for the projects, for the utility projects, to build bridges for the network. What is, let's say, customary you being done is that the networks are creating the bridges for the projects to work on the bridges. And for now, for the time being, there is no working Binance Smart Chain to Elrond bridge. So when we're going to have that bridge, for sure we're going to also be present on the Elrond ecosystem. If development allows us, maybe we can try to build that bridge ourselves. But for now, is a priority to build the product itself and not so much the bridge. So this is something that I hope all the investors can appreciate. We want to focus on delivering the product itself, the platform, and all the other things are coming second in terms of development. Obviously, if the bridge is being developed on Elrond side for the BSC, then we will deploy the token on Elrond as well. So I hope this answers your questions about the bridge with Elrond. So another question that I have, if we're gonna have the burn on the token. So for the let's say for the V2 version of the smart contract, um, the burn is a feature that we have seriously considered, and we looked at, let's say, consequences and how it might let's say influence our tokenomics and the evolution of the token itself. Another, let's say, aspect that we have looked at is the fact, and I can just tease it for now. I cannot give too many details, but most likely we're going to launch a collections of NFTs, which are going to provide utility in our platform. And when we're going to launch that, let's say, collection of NFTs, at that moment, most likely some, if not all, the sum which is being attracted from that sale of NFTs, which is going to be in our token, is going to be burned. So we're going to have a deflationary effect right there, which is very relevant and is going to have a big effect on the evolution of our token, obviously going up. Because when you burn tokens, supply goes down and the price goes up. Yeah, so I'm here with you guys. If you have any other questions, I hope that I answered all your questions. If there is a limit on the services, obviously you cannot, let's say, there is a limit of decency in the services that you're listing, and we do have a drop down list of categories. So in the case if the service that you want to provide as a freelancer is not in that list, you can write as a ticket, and most likely in the first day, in the first months of having the product released, there's going to be a lot of feedback from the community, seeing the need for new features, the need for new categories, the need for a lot of things, which we are going to listen to the community and add them in the categories that we list the services in. So what's the story with the staking? So hi Andre, I answered this question previously in the EMA, but it's no problem. So the idea is the fact that we're looking at two alternatives of making the staking, either on site on our platform or on a centralized exchange. So we're still let's say looking at the alternatives and the consequences, and we will have a proper answer in writing for you guys in the community. Just follow up on everything that we discussed here. Stay close to us. Follow us on Telegram, on our other channels. You can find the other channels that we have in the description of this AMA. Stay close, and we will give you a proper writing to all the things that have not yet been decided yet. We will follow up on them in writing. So what is the stage of implementation Lang as first and payment in the platform? That's a very good question, Claudio. So everything in our platform is going to be denominated in Lang. In other words, either you pay directly with Lang or you can pay with fiat, but the fiat is going to be shape shifted into Lang, and then you're going to have the payment with Lang, or other cryptos, for example, such as USDT, which it can then transform into Lang. So everything is going to be paid in the end with Lang. So Lang is already the payment in the platform. So is the only payment actually in the platform for everything from services which the freelancers are providing to additional services that we might have, such as classes, courses, different tools that we're going to build. Everything is going to be paid in Lang. And what that means for the community and for the token is that when you have demand on a token, the price is going to go up because you're going to have people using it. Great question about the metaverse part. So thank you. We've put a lot of effort into the design. We're gonna have multiple versions of it. The idea is that we're going to allow people to create their own, let's say, customized space. So this is the end goal that we want to reach. When you're interacting with somebody, like I'm interacting with you guys, now I'm interacting through this flat screen, right? So there is this 2D experience. We want to create a 3D experience when you can interact in multiple literal dimensions with somebody, with everything from spatial audio to movement inside that space. So we're going to create a three-dimensional space of interactivity between the freelancer and the potential client. And this is going to be something like an office space. And this office space in the metaverse, in the Lanceria metaverse, our vision for the metaverse of freelancers is going to be able to customize it with 3D models that you will be able to buy from our NFT marketplace. Or as a freelancer, if you're into 3D design, you will be able to create them yourself and sell them on the NFT marketplace. So somebody is telling me that I'm avoiding a question. Well, I'm not avoiding the question. So the question is about the listing. The thing is that personally, I don't have an answer regarding listing. What I'm doing in this project and what I'm responsible for is the development of the product. And my personal focus and the focus of the team, most of the team in the past few weeks have been the development of the product. So we're focusing on development of the platform. We're focusing on creating new, let's say, ways of creating value for our users. And obviously, a listing would create a lot of volumes, would create, let's say, fresh blood on the community. but for us, the priority has been the development of the product. And to be honest, you can't have both at the same time. So either you have a lot of focus on trying to get listed in a lot of marketplaces, trying to create a lot of hype around the token, or you can focus more on the product. And usually, it's from a public perspective, from a public perception perspective, if you focus too much on the token aspect, people are saying, why don't you focus on the product more? And if you focus on the product more, they tell you that you're not marketing. So unfortunately, with the limited resources that a company has, because regardless how small or how big you are, the resources are either way limited, you have to choose one of the two. And the focus has been clearly for the last few weeks on the development of the product. So by creating the platform as fast as possible, as performing as possible, as bringing as much value to the investors and to the users, this is going to be a major step in the right direction for us. So this is why we want to focus more on the product. Obviously, there's going to be new listings, but for the moment, I cannot announce any new listing. If there's going to be any new listing, you will be the first one to know in the communities and on our social media. Not just rent offices, you'll be able to create your own office in the Lanceria metaverse. So I see this question pops up every few comments, every few, let's say, every few lines in the chat. Everybody's asking about listing Lanceria on Elrond. I already responded to this question. It's a matter of infrastructure, it's a matter of building the bridge, and it's a matter of having to make a trade-off between focusing on the development of the product or creating a bridge for infrastructure. And bridges are usually being done. This is something which is customary in the industry. Bridges between infrastructures are being created by the infrastructure team, not by the project team. I mean, sometimes project teams, I mean, utility project teams, they do the bridges, but usually it's something which is being done by the infrastructure bridges, the infrastructure. So when we're going to have a functional bridge from Binance Smart Chain to Elrond, you're going to be sure we're going to be present also on Elrond. Where I can see the platform. So I'm not sure if you already saw, I'm going to post it again. So this is the screen recording with some of the things that already have been developed, and they're being live. I mean, live in the development environment, but is a lot of work being done there. How members our team has? This is another recurring question. 7 or 8, something like that. I don't think is a major difference from the initial numbers that we had. Again, the question about Elrond, guys, is the third time I'm answering this question. The bridge is not between Elrond and Lanceria. The bridge is between Elrond as an infrastructure and Binance Smart Chain. We are on Binance Smart Chain. If there is a working bridge between Binance Smart Chain and Elrond, you're going to be sure we're going to be on Elrond as well. If there is no bridge between Elrond and Binance Smart Chain, we cannot be on Elrond as well because we are already being deployed on Binance Smart Chain and we need the bridge. I hope this settles the question. So yeah, the need to swap our lang for the new one. This one is a question which relates to V2 version of the lang token. And we've been working on that, but I cannot give you an exact date for when or how, but I can tell you that this is something that we haven't forgot about it. We're doing it. We're just working the nicks and necks, different details of the implementation. Well, obviously, an Ask Me Anything with all the members would not be very feasible because we would not fit in the same screen, or we would have to be everybody from different places with a lot of people talking at the same time. So we can do, and we will do, Ask Me Anything sessions with more people from our team for sure. But most likely it's going to be with the people involved in business or in communication. It doesn't make much sense to have our developers in Ask Me Anything sessions if they can focus on developing the product. Will there be another testing phase before launching the MVP? Uh, yeah, obviously, but most likely it's going to be first a closed testing phase, and then we're going to have a public testing phase. Is the NFT marketplace on Lanceria safe? Um, well, obviously, we're going to have security auditings for the smart certificates and for the platform itself. And we're hoping that all the things that we're going to go through all the hoops that we need to go to in order to make it as safe as possible. Two great questions. I really like that the chat has warmed up, and we have some very interesting questions here. So the first one, if we do have the max supply will be less than the current one, and I think Lucian means here burn effects. What will happen to the coins in our wallet? Well, Lucian, the good news is that the coin in your wallet is going to value more than it used to, because it's going to be more rare. So the tokens which are being burned are not the tokens in your wallet, obviously. So when you have less total supply and you have the same amount in your wallet, obviously the coins in your wallet they are going to value more. In the metaverse, we'll have avatars. How can we buy? Yeah, obviously you're gonna have avatars. I cannot tell you a lot of details about how you'll be able to customize them, and I mean not in too much detail, but I can tell you that on the long run, you'll be able to customize your avatar with the NFTs that you are going to be able to buy on our internal marketplace of NFTs. So everything is connected. We have the platform, which is the basic functionality of creating freelancers with clients. We have the metaverse, which is, let's say, the virtual environment where people can connect and discuss and let's say debrief on all the aspects that needs to be discussed for the deal. And then you have the NFT marketplace, which are ways of customizing your experience, and not just from a cosmetic point of view, but also from a utility point of view. Very interesting question here. If the metaverse is going to be compatible with glasses as well. Um, well, the whole discussion about virtual or augmented reality is about the standards that they're using and API interconnections. And if there is, let's say, if there are providers for such open source, let's say, integrations, yeah, most likely we're going to have that kind of integration as well. But I cannot tell you for sure because this is something that does not depend on Lanceria team. This depends on the technology provider of that, let's say, specific API for virtual or extended reality glasses. I really love the fact that there is a lot of interest with what we're developing with the metaverse, and I can tell you that we're going to come up with more and more details about the things that we're doing with the metaverse. But some of the things are still, let's say, moving puzzles, moving pieces, and we need to just get the work done and see which is the best features that we can implement in our product. So maybe there are some details like this question, if there are going to be private rooms. So by default, yeah, they're going to be private rooms. Everything is going to be private unless you don't. I mean, unless you invite somebody in your room, they will not have access in your room. But then there's going to be public spaces as well. But this might be an easier question, but I'm sure there are going to be harder questions about details of the metaverse. When we're going to have more details, we're going to give them to you. Things are still being developed, things are still being designed. So maybe some of the questions are not yet ready to be answered. Well, it has been almost 1 hour, very intense Ask Me Anything session. A lot of questions being passed, a lot of answers hopefully being said. Um, what I'm going to take away personally from this interaction, uh, some very very important topics for the community, and I'm going to come back to my colleagues, and we're gonna further make sure that the things that you raised, the questions that you raised, the topic that you want more, let's say, clarity, we're gonna give you the clarity that you need in the upcoming days. So this has been a very useful Ask Me Anything session that we had here, and I'm really hopeful that we will be able to communicate more and give more details about our project. And one of the things that I noticed that you all guys want is, say, more details about the team size and team photos and all of that. And most likely we're gonna have a press release with the full team structure in the upcoming days, and this is going to be addressed as well. So from my side, I'm just going to note down all of the topics that you guys have been really interested in. I'm going to take them in our company meetings and make sure that everything, all the details that you guys further need are going to be communicated. And thanks from my colleagues from the technical side by providing this detailed answer about the way the rooms in the metaverse are generated. So as you can see, we're more than just one guy. There's somebody else replying here. Yeah, we're gonna have more details with the technical aspects of our product soon. Great. It has been a great AMA, guys. Thank you very much for all of your questions. Really looking forward to staying in touch with you to have more questions and more answers in writing as well. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed to our social media, to follow us on Telegram. We're going to keep you posted with everything that we continue to develop. And if you have any kind of feedback, by the way, even feedback on the screen recording that I already gave you with the product, if you have any feedback on the product demo that we gave you, if you think that some features should be added, please be positive. Please add some ideas that you want to see in the final product. If let's say if enough people say that something should be in the final product, maybe we can add them in later stages. So we're really flexible and we really want to try to listen as much as we can to our community. Thank you guys. Thank you very much, and let's keep in touch. See you next time. See you at the next AMA sessions. Bye. Cheers.